Welcome to the Week in Review version of the Daily Sports Content Economy podcast for Friday, February 27, 2026. We created this podcast specifically for alternative and Tier 2 sports leagues, teams, competitions, and the athletes who compete in them. We just got out of a meeting with Bryce, and he wanted us to share what should be top of mind for today as you navigate the day.
And honestly, top of mind almost feels like an understatement this week. To pull together the insights for today's deep dive, our team analyzed a grand total of 76 articles and newsletter references. We are talking about a massive stack of information.
It really is a mountain of text. And just to give everyone a sense of the scope before we really jump in, we're pulling from the heavy hitters, places like Sports Pro and The Athletic, digging into the Sports Business Journal, but also getting deep into the tech and creator weeds with sources like AI Breakfast, Profluence, and the business of YouTube.
Right, exactly. And our mission today is pretty specific. I mean, we aren't here to just read you headlines. The goal is to translate these massive high-level industry shifts, specifically in media rights, the creator economy, and AI, into immediate, actionable, to-do items.
Yeah, so if you are running a race organization, managing an up-and-coming league, or if you're an athlete trying to make a living, we are going to tell you exactly what you need to do before you go to sleep tonight.
Let's start with the money, because the numbers we are seeing projected for 2026 are staggering.
Yeah, Sports Pro cited a forecast from Ampere Analysis, and they are projecting that streamers are going to spend $14.2 billion on sports rights in 2026.
$14.2 billion. And here's where it gets fascinating and vital for our listeners. We aren't just talking about dedicated sports broadcasters anymore. The Ampere Analysis data shows that generalist streamers, you're talking Amazon, Netflix, Disney, Plus, all of them, now represent 44% of that total outlay. They're effectively swallowing the market.
And I think the natural reaction for a smaller league or a niche sport is, well, that's great for the NBA or the NFL. Amazon isn't writing me a check.
But that is the completely wrong way to look at it. See, these generalist streamers have a very specific business problem right now. They have these massive subscriber bases, and they have the big marquee events, but they have huge gaps.
Right, they're fighting churn.
Exactly. They need what we call shoulder programming. They need content to fill time zones where absolutely nothing is happening live on the big channels just to keep people from canceling their subscriptions. Sports Pro highlighted that while Amazon is dropping billions on the NBA, the same economic model applies to niche sports that can deliver consistent live content.
So they are incredibly hungry for volume to just fill the pipes, and we are seeing the big players react to this shift in control too. Sport Business reported this week that the English Premier League launched a direct-to-consumer streaming service in Singapore.
Which is a massive signal. The EPL is effectively saying, we don't just want to sell our rights to a network. We want to own the customer relationship directly. It's a total move toward vertical integration.
But the beauty is, for the Tier 2 and alternative sports world, the barrier to entry to doing that yourself has never been lower. Production 360 had a piece of news that I thought paired perfectly with this. Pixelot just secured $35 million in funding.
Yes, that is critical. For those who don't know, Pixelot is automated production technology. It uses AI to track the ball or the action without a human camera operator.
Which means the tech is getting better and drastically cheaper. It basically eliminates the main barrier for broadcasting youth sports, Tier 2 leagues, or local endurance races.
Right, so let's translate this combination of news. We have streamers desperate for inventory, and we have automated cameras making production cheaper. If you are running a regional rugby league or a mountain bike series, what does this mean for your Friday to-do list?
You need to stop waiting for a traditional TV deal. The streamers need inventory right now. So for leagues and teams, your job today is to build a rights-ready inventory map.
A rights-ready inventory map. It's a simple document. You list your next 12 months of fixtures, and then you tag which ones can be produced using low-cost automated production, like Pixelot, and which ones are your premium events.
And then you package this as time zone filler or shoulder programming and pitch it to regional streamers or fast channels. They are desperate for content to keep viewers watching between the big movies or news blocks.
It's a total mindset shift. You aren't selling the glory of the championship game. You are selling 200 hours of live content to keep viewers engaged on the platform.
You're selling utility. And for the athletes listening, they can't exactly sell hours of fixtures, but you are part of this inventory.
Exactly. If you are a racer or a competitor, you need to package your content. Don't just post random clips. Create a consistent live or highlight format. Your specific to-do for tonight is to create a one-page creator plus competition media kit,
Show your event challenger, show your audience data, and have it ready to pitch to these platforms. You aren't just an athlete anymore, you're a content supplier.
which actually segues perfectly into our second segment. The definition of an athlete is fundamentally changing. Sports Business Journal had a headline this week that said, media companies must embrace the era of athletes as creators.
That is a total paradigm shift. It used to be that an athlete was just talent. You hired them to wear a logo, hold a sports drink, or appear in a commercial. Now advertisers want to own the athlete's presence across everything, broadcast, social, and this new style of creator video.
And we are seeing this play out at the biggest events in the world. Digiday had a fascinating report on the Super Bowl, describing it not just as a football game, but as a brand trip for creators.
Like those influencer trips you see in the beauty or travel industry.
Exactly like that. Brands are now treating sports events the exact same way.
Yeah.
They aren't just buying 30-second TV spots anymore. They're flying creators out, building on-site activations specifically for them to film content. The creators function as real-time media channels.
And the big agencies are staffing up for this reality. Marketing Dive reported that Publicis has launched a new unit called Influential Sports, and the stat they dropped is wild. 70% of fans follow creators for sports content. 70%.
That number is the whole ball game. If 70% of the audience is there for the creator content and you are a league or a team, you have to adapt your contracts. The eyeballs aren't on the scoreboard, they are on the personality.
So let's get to the translation. What does this athlete as creator era mean for our listeners today? For athletes, it means you need to formalize your role as a content studio.
The days of just training and racing are over if you want to monetize. Your to-do is to define and own series. Maybe it's race week logs or rugby skills in 60 seconds. Script and shoot a pilot episode on your phone before tonight. You have to show brands that you can actually produce assets, not just wear a patch on your jersey.
And for the organizers, the race directors, you need to treat your event like a content factory. Don't just hire a photographer to stand at the finish line.
Right. Designate a pool of event creators for your next race. Offer them free entry and a media pass, but in exchange, demand structured storylines. Tell them you want a course scene or a day-in-the-life video. You are effectively crowdsourcing your marketing to the people who are naturally best at it.
I love that. Crowdsourcing the hype. And for the teams, you need to update your contracts immediately. Draft a one-page athlete-creator policy today. You have to clarify revenue sharing on co-produced content.
Because if a sponsor comes to you and wants a creator campaign with your star player, you need to know exactly who gets paid what before the deal is even on the table.
Preparation is everything. Now let's shift gears and talk about where the sponsorship money is actually coming from. Because it's not just the usual consumer brands anymore. We saw some really interesting deals this week that signal a major shift toward data and niche investment.
We really did. The one that stood out to me was from Markets Group. They reported that Bluestone Equity Partners has signed on to sponsor USA Archery through the LA 2028 Olympics.
A private equity firm sponsoring archery. At first glance, that seems completely random.
It does seem random if you only think of sponsorship as selling consumer goods like soda or cars. But it's actually highly strategic. This signals that the financial sector is deeply interested in smaller, stable properties with long-term horizons. They love the 4-year Olympic cycle because it is predictable.
It suggests that if you are a niche sport, you don't need to chase the trendy consumer brand. You might find much better luck with a PE firm or a B2B company looking for stability.
Speaking of B2B, The Athletic reported that Chelsea FC signed a shirt sponsorship with IFS, which is an industrial AI company.
Right. IFS isn't selling sneakers. They do complex logistics and supply chain software. They chose Chelsea because elite football is a highly complex, high-performance operation. It's a direct alignment of values around complexity and logistics.
And on the topic of AI, we absolutely cannot ignore the tech itself. AI Breakfast had a big update on Google releasing Nano Banana 2.
It is such a ridiculous name.
It really is. But along with that, AI Breakfast also noted that Perplexity is launching a $200 a month computer agent. The names might be funny, but the implication is incredibly serious. Enterprise AI costs are collapsing.
Right. These agents from Perplexity can handle complex workflows, autonomously research, coding, planning. It's not just a chatbot answering questions anymore. It's essentially a digital worker.
So how do we translate this mix of private equity, industrial AI, and autonomous agents into action? First, for leagues and teams, you have to look beyond consumer brands. If you are a complex sport, think triathlon, sailing, anything with heavy logistics pitch, B2B tech or AI companies.
Use that Chelsea and IFS deal as your case study. Your to-do tonight is to build a target list of 10 industrial or AI brands.
And for the competitions looking for that bluestone money, use the USA Archery model. Package your rights in multi-year cycles, specifically aiming through 2028. Pitch to regional investment firms and tell them you offer a stable, long-term brand platform for the next 4 years.
And operationally, this is where the autonomous agents come in. Nikki Saunders' newsletter referenced this exact trend too. Use these new tools, Perplexity's agent, Notion's custom agents, to automate your back office. You should not be spending hours on scheduling and sponsor updates. Automate that so you have the time to actually be a creator.
Because efficiency creates the capacity for creativity. Now let's move to what might be the most disruptive trend we've seen in the entire stack, prediction markets.
This is fascinating. Both Sponsor United and the Business of YouTube highlighted this. The Business of YouTube had a great interview with Ed Abbas from Display. The core headline is that prediction markets are moving from a curiosity to a full-blown category.
And we need to be really clear here, this isn't just sports betting. Because I know that scares some of the smaller leagues away.
Exactly. That is a crucial distinction. It's about priced sentiment. It's taking the real-time data from chats, polls, and fan discussions and turning that into a tradable asset. The example they used was DAZN partnering with Polymarket.
It is gamifying the conversation. And if you look at TubeFilter's report on Gen Z, their spending is way up on Roblox and TikTok Shop. This generation buys and engages through interaction and gaming mechanics. They do not just want to watch passively, they want to participate.
So for a Tier 2 sport or a local race organizer, how do you tap into this without getting a complex gambling license? You use prediction mechanics.
Right, you don't need money-changing hands to use the psychology of prediction. Your to-do is to build a free-to-play prediction game for your next event. Guess the king of the mountain time. Predict the top 3 finishers.
And that captures the data.
It captures incredibly valuable data. Fan emails, preferences, engagement times. That is exactly what you sell to sponsors. And for athletes, set up a simple prediction poll on Instagram or YouTube for your next competition. The Business of YouTube calls this engagement the new currency over passive viewership.
If you can get your fans to bet their social capital on your performance, they are locked in. It makes them emotionally invested in the outcome.
Precisely.
Okay. We have covered a lot of heavy strategy today. Let's hit our rapid fire segment, the water cooler moments from the sources. What stood out to you?
Well, you know I love a good sponsorship quirk. SBJ Unpacks mentioned that the San Francisco Giants are the only team with a formal partnership with a master sommelier.
A baseball sommelier.
Basically a minister of Merlot. But the underlying takeaway is brilliant. It's about layering sponsorship to create totally unique fan experiences. It elevates the brand and shows you can niche down even within a massive 40,000-seat stadium.
I love that. My favorite moment from the stack has to be from the Athletic Pulse. Jack Hughes, the hockey player, lost his teeth during a gold medal run.
Ouch.
Yeah. And the New Jersey Devils PR team confirmed that the teeth are, quote, lost to icy dental history in Milan.
It's a hilarious detail, but it perfectly humanizes the athlete. That narrative travels so much further than just the final score of the game.
And finally, on the visual side, the 2026 NWSL kits have officially dropped, according to the Athletic Pulse.
And the takeaway there is that merchandise drops are content events. They aren't just product releases. They are highly orchestrated media moments.
So we have covered media rights, creators, AI predictions, and lost teeth. Let's bring it all home. If you are listening to this on your way to the track or the office, here is your summary of key must-dos.
3 things. 1, athletes, film a pilot creator episode and update your media kit with audience data tonight. You are a content studio now. 2, teams and leagues, audit your inventory. Look for creator assets you can sell and identify where you can use automated production like Pixelot to fill those inventory gaps.
And 3, competitions. Create a prediction mechanic. Gamify your event to capture fan data. Simple, actionable, and necessary. Now, before we sign off, I want to leave you with a final thought to chew on. We talked about Cristiano Ronaldo buying a stake in UD Almeria in the Profluence report, and we talked about the prediction markets trend from Sponsor United.
Right. If you connect those dots, we are rapidly moving to a world where fans don't just watch, they predict outcomes. And athletes don't just play, they own equity and actively produce the show.
So the question is, if you are still just selling a static logo on a jersey or a standard 30-second ad spot, are you selling a relic? The true value has completely moved to ownership and interaction. That's a powerful place to leave it. Thanks for letting us be part of your meeting with Bryce. Go navigate the day.
Go navigate the day.
Thanks for listening to this edition of the Daily Sports Content Economy Podcast. If you're ready to build your content media empire, we should probably talk. Visit rootgroupmarketing.com. Thanks for watching and listening.